Hello everyone, it's me Uncle John. Today I'm going to read S33242, Astronaut Living in Space by Kate Hayden. Linda is an astronaut on the space shuttle. She's going to repair a broken telescope. Linda loves going into space. It's very exciting. As she looks out of the window, she can see Earth far below. What a view! You can see towns and rivers and mountains. Telescope. We can look at the stars and planets through telescopes on Earth. But we can use telescopes in space to see even further. Linda had wanted to go into space since she was a little girl. When she applied for a job as an astronaut, thousands of other people applied too, but only 6 people could get in. Linda had to take lots of tests. Doctors checked her lungs, eyes, and ears. Finally, she got the job. She was over the moon. Science in space. Many astronauts are scientists. Doctors study what happens to our bodies in space. Biologists study what happens to plants and animals. Linda spent 18 months training to be an astronaut. During her training, she ran on a machine that let her move as if she were in space. Space is very different from Earth. On Earth, a force called gravity keeps everyone on the ground. In space, there is less gravity and astronauts can float around. This is called being weightless. It happens because of the way the shuttle moves around Earth. Before each mission, astronauts train for the job they will do in space. For this mission, Linda learned how to repair a telescope. She practiced on a model of a telescope in a swimming pool. Being underwater is a bit like being in space. Linda practiced again and again until she was perfect. Then she was ready to go up in the space shuttle. This is Linda's fourth mission. Each time the astronauts strap themselves into their seats, Linda gets butterfly. Final countdown begins. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off. There is a deafening, thundering roar as the rockets fire the shuttle off the launch pad. Spacesuit. Astronauts wear special orange suits for takeoff and landing. The suits help them to cope with the unusual forces. People at launch control on Earth watch the takeoff. They can talk to the crew at any time. In just 30 seconds, the shuttle leaves the blue sky and enters the darkness of space. The rockets and fuel tank drop away. The rockets are collected from the sea to be used on another mission. Shuttle spotting. Sometimes you can see a shuttle circling around Earth. It looks like a moving star. Now Linda changes into trousers and a t-shirt to relax. She has pockets for her pants and snacks, otherwise they will float away. Space shuttle is made up of 3 parts. Space plane called orbiter, a fuel tank and 2 rockets. The rockets fire the orbiter into space. The orbiter carries equipment such as a laboratory or a telescope in the cargo bay. The crew uses a robotic arm to move things in and out of the cargo bay. There are 8 astronauts on Linda's mission. They live and work in the cabin. The mission commander, who is in charge, sits with the pilot at the orbiter's controls. A few hours after takeoff, some of the crew take a break. Linda joins them for lunch. She straps herself into a seat. The food is in packages, held on a tray. Linda ties her tray to her knee and eats with a fork and spoon, but she sucks a drink out of a pack so the drops don't float around. Space food. There are more than 70 different kinds of food available. Some are ready to eat, others need water added. Finally, they reached the broken telescope. Linda puts on a special suit for walking out in space. It has oxygen for her to breathe because there is no air in space. It also has headphones and a microphone in the helmet so that Linda can talk to the crew. A jet-propelled backpack helps Linda move around. Spacewalk. Russian astronaut Alexei Leonov was the first person to walk in space in 1965. Out in space at last, Linda begins to repair the telescope. But the telescope is bent and her repair tool does not fit. This means she must get the telescope into the cargo bay to do the repairs. Linda tells the commander about a problem. He moves out the robotic arm to pick up the telescope, but will it reach? Linda stands on the arm and gives a direction. The arm is just long enough. Linda catches the telescope. The commander brings it back on the robotic arm to the orbiter's cargo bay. It takes a few hours for Linda to repair the telescope. Then she helps the commander to put it back in space. Linda is happy that she has done her job. Now Linda has to work out on an exercise machine. She's lighter in space than on Earth, so her bones and muscles do not have to work very hard. She must exercise for 2 hours a day. This stops her from growing weak. Linda works hard. On the machine, a doctor checks her health as she exercises. After her workout, Linda washes with wet wipes. There are no showers on board. Drops of flowing water can damage the equipment. There's a toilet though. It sucks everything safely away. Soon it is Linda's turn to sleep. She climbs into a bunk on the wall and lies down. The astronauts sleep in shift, so some of the crew are always awake to work. It is time to return to Earth. It could be dangerous. Earth is surrounded by a blanket of gases called the atmosphere. The orbiter must re-enter the atmosphere at the perfect angle. If it re-enters too stiffly, it'll burn up. If it comes down at too shallow an angle, it'll bounce into space. The pilot gets it just right. The orbiter re-enters the atmosphere safely. Linda looks out of the window. The orbiter is red hot. It is 1,357 degrees Celsius, but it's covered with special tile to stop it from burning up. Suddenly, a tile flies past the window. Linda does not worry. There are still enough tiles on the orbiter to protect it. Orbiter starts to glide through the air. In only 14 seconds, the spacecraft will touch down. The pilot lowers the landing gear. Then the orbiter lands. A drag chill like a parachute helps to slow it down. The astronauts have to wait for the orbiter to cool down. At last, they come out. Linda looks up into space. She's already looking forward to her next mission. The end.